Welcome, Ji. Let's discuss some features of Java 15. Java 15, uh, that means JDK 15, was released on yesterday, September 15. JDK 15 just released on 15 September. So just I download the JDK 15 and my local setup, and I just check it's working. Welcome. JDK 15. If I run it, and you notice that I have set up my JDK 15 exe, and here I am using some preview feature. Whenever you are compiling this code, you have to use enable preview feature Java JDK 15, so that you can able to run and compile those features. So today I am going to discuss uh, two features which as a Java developer, as a programmer, we have to know. One new thing was introduced in JDK 5, 15 is seal types. Okay, seal types. Generally, seal types. What is the seal types, and what are the use case? So, sealed are maybe sealed class or sealed interface. They restrict which other class or interface may extend or implement them. That means let's you have a written one interface. Interface you have written your interface one. That interface can implement by any number of classes. You have not any control. It's implemented by class 1, class 2, class 3, class 4, class 5, etc. Any number of classes can implement. Now, JDK 15 cell type enforce, or you can say provide the developer capability. Now here developer can decide I want this my interface can implemented by only C1, C2 and C3. Rest other cannot implement. So this restrictions now have a developer capability. Before that, we have not any controls where any public interface can restricted by 3 or 4 or 5 classes. Okay, so these seal types you can apply on a class level as well as your interface level. On interface, you can implement multiple classes. Now we have as a developer in protecting or allowing only a 1 2 3 4 set of classes can implement my interface. Similarly, for the setup for in the case of classes, we have an option. We can say only in the case of abstract classes, we can say only these class 1, class 2, class 3 can extend my subclass. But these restrictions are applied through cell types. Okay, let's I am writing one example so that we are able to feel how look like. Just here, let's I am typing any interface. Let's save. Okay. Okay, like this already in my test class. Just I'm just remove it. Okay, okay, let's key. We have one interface shape. And now let's key shape have just like the enum method. Let's key public void area. Okay, let's key return some long value area. Any shape can have it. Now, whenever here, if I'm uh, open it before JDK 15, we have not any control. This shape interface can be implemented by any number of classes, like class, let's key circle, implement shape interface, and can override area method. Okay, or class we can rectangle, implement shape, override for area. So this way we have now similarly let's key also a class square can implement the shape. So these way we have not any restriction ki how many number of implementation class can have this interface. Okay. Uh, if you run it, it will this code is run, code and compile and run. There is not any issue. Okay. So here now how to apply shield class? Just I want this interface can implemented by only circle class and rectangle class. I don't want your square class implement this shape interface. We have any we have not any provisions before JDK 15. Now we have options. Now we can shield class and interface apply restriction which other class or interface may extend or implement. Okay. So how we are going to so there is a new keyword and is a shield. Shield. So whenever you are apply shield, now you notice that all are this one thing notice that whenever you declare any interface or class as a shield class, its implementation class can have a three. Again, can become a shield class or interface, can non-shield or final. That means ki implementation of shape interface can be again shield types or non-shield types or final. Okay, so due to that, these all classes are not so. But how I am restricting here? I can say ki this is the your non-shield classes. You can also say ki this is the final class. Uh, So in this way, but here again, if you just mentioning shield types as an interface, say, but still we have not any control to restrict to implement this. So how to apply restrictions? For apply those restrictions, we have to use the new keyword permits. And here you can say I want to allow one circle and rectangle. here now not now here if you notice here, now here say square is not allowed in the shield hierarchy. That means this shape interface now permits only circle and rectangle classes. So these two classes, circle class can implement shape interface, rectangle class can implement shape interface. And any shape interface which types shield, if you are implementing those interface, you have to mark your classes non-shield or shield or final. Any modifier needed. Okay, so here we have looked we cannot implement shape interface, so this is the not allowed. This class cannot allow to implement shield type interface. Shield type interface. Okay, so these are the not allowed. For compiling a code, we have decided to comment. So if you run it, you notice again my code will work. Okay, the use case just like before, only the way of implementing, and the rest is nothing changed, and you can simply implement shape s equal to your new circle, and you can here again s out the start area. Okay, out let's just write a SOP message can be inside. So insert and you can simply pass is equal to new, again you call it. So circle rectangle. That is the all the object creations and uses are the same. The only shield modifier apply restriction to your interface. That means here this is my interface shape. Now I will make first make as a type as a modifier as a shield type, and now I allow permits circle interface as rectangle. Any other than these two interface cannot implement this shape interface. So here we can apply restriction. Whenever you need, I want this interface only consumed by implementation 1, implementation 2. You can just mark shield type modifier and permit those class interface. Okay, and notice that whenever you are making any interface type as a shield, all the implementation class of this shield interface implementation class would be non shield or final or shield classes. Okay, and one more enhancement is also yeah, done in the JDK 15 was that now from Java 15 onward, compiler allow us to create enum interface are record classes. Record classes is just one uh, feature introduced in Java 14, where you can write uh, concise form of class which is immutable class. And okay, all this enum interface and record you can make inside a local method. That means inside your any local method, let's say we have a method public static void local method, and here in local method you can now write your any interface my inter. Here you can write any method void. Now compiler allow you can write interface inside a class. Here you notice now this is my local method. Local method in this local method now compiler allow we can write an interface, and all the implementation of this interface come inside this. You can implement here, you can consume here, anything you want to do. Okay, local interface. Now similarly you can define local your enum as well. As here you can define enum once. Okay, and here the one, two, three. Okay, similarly you can define local record classes. Record class. Record class. This is a concise form of concise form of immutable class from JDK 14. Okay, concise form of immutable class. Okay, so similarly syntax is similarly. Let's see, you can write a record, then your class name like empty empty, and here you can pass a string name and comma a string integer id. Okay, so here now you can run it. Now compiler allow in the local method, in any method you can write these multiple things. Okay, so from JDK 15 onward you can create local interface, local enum, and local record classes, and all these interface, enum, and record classes can be here used as per your use case. Okay, so these are the summary of two features introduced in Java 15. One is a cell type. Cell type can be applied on the class level or interface level, and they are just make restriction, and now developer can allow only those classes can implement or extend. Okay, and similarly Java 15 also allow us as a developer, we can write local enum, local interface, and local record classes as well. Okay. Hope it's useful.